Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Dead Cowboy, and welcome to an introduction to the Meritocracy Party. This could be considered a primer for meritocracy. So, without further ado, let me get right to the point. The famous philosopher Nietzsche said, "Success has always been the greatest liar." Meritocracy says, money has always been the greatest liar. In America, success and money go together. They are one and the same. The American dream is strictly a financial dream. It is not a dream of the human spirit, of human creativity, of human intelligence, of human will, of human art, of human aspiration, of human freedom, human greatness, just of vast, vulgar wealth and status. If you dream of nothing but money, you will be ruled by those who have all the money. The capitalists, the infamous 1%, the ownership class. Americans dream only of wealth. We're obsessed with it. The comedian George Carlin said, quote, "Real owners are the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. And now they're coming for your Social Security. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street." End quote. When you dream of anything other than money, when you dream of something other than wealth and status, then the rich elite can have no power over you. When they cease to control your dreams, they cease to control you. There's no such thing as a poor celebrity. There's no such thing as a smart celebrity. You don't become a celebrity by being smart. The smartest mathematicians in America are the most anonymous people in America. I'm the Dead Cowboy. When you dream of anything other than money, when you dream of something other than wealth and status, then the rich elite, the infamous 1%, can have no power over you. When they cease to control your dreams, they cease to control you. Their task all along has been to give you a false consciousness, a false dream. They want you to dream of them, to worship them, to always be thinking of money and those who have it. The puppets they control like marionettes. Two-tier society, those on the bottom, those on the top, no in between. You do not become a celebrity by being a genius. It's time for us to, perhaps dream differently, dream better. Dream higher, don't dream of money, dream of human greatness and glory. As Plato said, all the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. A nation defined by money can never accomplish greatness. It is opposed to the blood, to the human spirit, to the will, to greatness itself. And now for a quote from Oxfam.org. Oxfam said, "An economy for the 99%, a report by Oxfam.org, shows that the gap between rich and poor is far greater than had been feared. It details how big business and the super rich are fueling the inequality crisis by dodging taxes, driving down wages, and using their power to influence politics. Calls for a fundamental change in the way we manage our economies so that they work for all people and not just a fortunate few." End quote, Oxfam.org. And of course, the study done by Oxfam says that just 8 men own the same wealth as half of the world. Executive director of Oxfam International was quoted saying, "It is obscene for so much wealth to be held in the hands of so few when 1 in 10 people survive on less than $2 a day. Inequality is trapping hundreds of millions in poverty. It is fracturing our societies and undermining democracy across the world. People are being left behind. Their wages are stagnating, yet corporate bosses take home $1 million bonuses. Their health and education services are cut while corporations and the super rich dodge their taxes. Voices are ignored as governments sing to the tune of big business and the wealthy elite." End quote. And yet, another quote from Oxfam.org, because hey, can't get enough of that shit. Quote, "Contrary to popular belief, many of the super rich are not self-made." No, Oxfam analysis shows that over half of the world's billionaires either inherited their wealth or accumulated it through industries which are prone to corruption and cronyism. End quote, Oxfam.org. Aristotle said, the most perfect political community is one in which the middle class is in control and outnumbers both of the other classes. As Congressman X said in the revealing and sensational book released in 2016 titled The Confessions of Congressman X, they call him Congressman X. Quote, voters claim they're too busy to keep up with what's going on in Washington. Like being busy with some kind of modern day affliction. Fact is, a lot of these folks are too busy watching out for themselves, crafting their fictional brand on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All the world's a stage, and they want to be the star. I know. We're no different than the narcissists we represent. We're out for ourselves. We lie when necessary. And money is everything. Laughs. There's no business like show business. It's far easier than you think to manipulate a nation of naive, self-absorbed sheep who crave instant gratification. Things are so partisan today, most folks vote the straight party line, even though they don't know shit about who they're voting for. They just don't want the other guys to win. End quote. Congressman X. Congressman X, everybody. Give it up for Congressman X. Check out the book. It's a great read. It's great. So the major premise of meritocracy is, of course, merit. Anyone who inherited wealth or cut corners to get it did not merit it. Another idea discussed in the Meritocracy Party is the possibility of having a wealth cap. Look at the original Star Trek series. I mean, come on. The human race is exploring the universe together on the Starship Enterprise. May the Force be with you. Oh, fuck. Wrong move. Meritocracy seeks to create a future such as that depicted in Star Trek. I might just be a little drunk, but there's some good ideas. Aristotle said, quote, republics decline into democracies, and democracies degenerate into despotism. End quote. In today's world, we pay for bunk education that we remain indebted to the government for. The majority of today's education is focused on turning you into a worker drone for the super rich, a complete yes man that will put up and shut up with the upper class doing whatever the hell they want. Meritocracy has no classes. All reward is based on merit. Imagine that. You have to understand there is a huge difference between ideologies and the way they have been practiced. For example, in ancient Athens, the Athenians practiced a much different form of democracy than we practice today. Today we practice a capitalist oligarchy that we label with the word democracy. The rich stay rich, powerful stay powerful. In contrast to this, meritocracy, along with the liberating religion of Hyperionism, are in fact the cure to wealth inequality. Our so-called democracy and the perpetual wealth inequality that is exponentially getting more devastating for the working people. Meritocracy is the cure for that. Not the enemy of it. Yeah, well, it's the enemy too. Okay. In our current system, you can predict the results of any United States election by simply observing the campaign funding. Elections are bought by the financial elite. The famous 1%. It's time for the power to come back to the 99%. This is what meritocracy accomplishes. And if it doesn't, it's not meritocracy. Hyperionism is a practical logos religion. Meritocracy is a practical logos political system. Logos includes things like mathematics, science, philosophy, other politics, and other hard subjects. On the other hand, mythos is abstract It includes stories, art, music, myths, feelings, emotions, catchphrases, and even religion. Most religions are strictly mythos or primarily mythos. Meritocracy and Hyperionism, being both heavily influenced by Plato and even Pythagoras, are primarily logos ideologies. Democracy has become an almost entirely mythos political sphere, with all intelligent discourse taking place outside the major power structure itself. Aristotle also said, "A tyrant must put on the appearance of uncommon devotion to religion. Subjects are less apprehensive of illegal treatment from a ruler whom they consider God-fearing and pious. On the other hand, they do less easily move against him, believing that he has the gods on his side." As a logos ideology, meritocracy will put experts back where they belong, instead of spoiled brats and unelected, unmerited, financial elite-backed politicians running everything. This is what the Meritocracy Party accomplishes. This has been a short introduction to meritocracy and the Meritocracy Party. Our message, and even our aim. More videos are to come to go into finer detail. Yes, finer detail about how the meritocrats can run a meritocratic government by and for the people, as well as steps activists can take to promote meritocracy and Hyperionism. In closing, the Dead Cowboy would like to quote the great philosopher Plato. Plato said, "There will be no end to the troubles of states, or of humanity itself, till philosophers become kings in this world, or till those we now call kings and rulers truly and really become philosophers, and political power and philosophy thus come into the same hands. Meritocracy is the answer." I'm the Dead Cowboy. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the Meritocracy Party. Ad Astra. To the stars.